wonderful partnership in your ministries, and to everyone at Soul Harvest Ministries. I know that worship looks a little different, and
Yeah.
but it is the same in that we're talking about lifting up, receiving the Spirit of the Lord, and then taking that spirit, that action, that faith, that love, and bringing it to the community. And one of the things, and growing up in the church, that has been a real foundation for me is Jesus' words, faith without works are dead. And so it's about works, right, Bishop? And that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing through the church, through your expansion and your in all of your work. And that's the work that we need to be doing together right now. I wanted to speak specifically about the election happening right now. Even though I'm not on the ballot, I certainly feel like my whole family that lives in Michigan is, and your family and all of our families, because of what's at stake. And voting looks different this year also, as we know. It's interesting because the people of Michigan were very wise in 2018 to pass no excuse absentee ballot voting and same day voter registration. And now in the middle of this health pandemic, it's become even more important. So instead of saying election day is November 3rd, election day is now, and the last day of voting is November 3rd. That's the last day to be voting. And then we know from our great Secretary of State, who's working so hard, that it's going to take a few days. We have so many people voting and voting absentee, and you can't count those ahead of time. You have to wait till election day. So it'll be a few days before we have the final results, and that's okay. The most important thing is that everybody's vote is counted. And now, because we're getting so close to the election, our Secretary of State is urging that instead of putting the ballot in the mail, that we either take it into the clerk's office or put it in a drop box or vote on election day. And Bishop, I have to tell you, my mom, who's 94, I'm so blessed because she's healthy, 94 years old. She always votes absentee. And this year she said to me, I want to walk it into the clerk's office myself to make sure it's counted. So I drove her over to the clerk's office, and she went in and was really pleased to be able to hand that ballot to the clerk. So I figure if my 94-year-old mom can do that, we can all do that. So I really encourage everyone to do that. And I know you understand how important the election is, but when we look at what's happening right now to all of us, and when we look at what I believe we're also called upon, like someone growing up in the church, so many times I've had people say to me, as a Christian, why do you even get involved in this thing called politics? And I remind them that Jesus called upon us to be involved in the law and justice and mercy. And that involves politics. It involves electing people with the right values so that the right things can happen. And it's true now more than any other time in our lifetime when we say this is the most important election of our lifetime. It really is. We always say that, but this time, everything's on the ballot, including who we are as Americans, and I think who we are as human beings. And so I would just lift up one issue particularly, and that involves healthcare, particularly right now in the middle of the pandemic. But even before that, it's been a constant battle, different views about healthcare between the two parties. I've never understood why it's political or partisan. It's personal. Healthcare is personal for all of us. And even after 10 years of having passed the Affordable Care Act under President Obama and Vice President Biden, we're still fighting because the current president, the current Republican majority in the Senate wants to take away healthcare. And so the biggest and the most immediate threat right now to that, we stopped that effort to repeal healthcare in Congress, which was great. But now we have a Supreme Court justice that they're rushing to put on the bench who we know would be the deciding vote to say that the Affordable Care Act is unconstitutional. So I'm here in DC. I usually am home every weekend, but most of my colleague Gary Peters and I are here to make it clear that we are adamantly opposed to rushing this nominee through, who will not only vote to take away health care, but also vote to take away more voting rights and civil rights and all the other protections and freedoms that we see as Americans. So instead of rushing through this, what we should be doing right now is voting on another package to help people who've been hit by COVID, who are out of work and worried about losing their apartment or their home, and putting food on the table and getting what they need so that they can get back to work or save their small business. All of these things. That should be the priority. That should be the priority right now, not rushing through a real right-wing justice. So let me just close. I so appreciate your time. I really do believe that here's the good news. We can stop the chaos. We can stop the hate speak. We can stop the division and the radical violence right now by voting. And my friend Joe Biden and my friend Kamala Harris, I truly believe will heal the country, create a plan to get our arms around this virus so our children can be back in school safely and our businesses can open safely. And I also believe that my friend Gary Peters was critical that he be reelected, so we have a Democratic Senate that will support, not block what President Biden's doing, but support it. And the other thing we never talk about, I'll just end with, is the Supreme Court. We not only are talking about a U.S. Supreme Court nominee that's voted in by the U.S. Senate, but we vote on, as you know, the Michigan Supreme Court. And right now, we have two really important candidates that I feel strongly about, Bridget McCormick, who's currently a justice, and Elizabeth Welch. If they are elected, we will change the majority on the Michigan Supreme Court so that we will have people on the court that actually put people first. And particularly right now, when our governor needs backing in order to make the tough decisions she has to make, the current court has not backed her up. And that's a deep concern. So a lot on the ballot, a lot to do. And then after the election, a lot to do. We have a lot to do to heal and restore and rebuild. And it's my honor to represent you in the U.S. Senate as part of that process. Thank you so much.
Well, we're the recipients of all the good work that you do in the state of Michigan and beyond. And I want to at least let you know how thankful we are. Usually we don't hear from our elected officials until the year that they're voted in. But we want to thank you for coming in this day, the last Sunday in October. And hopefully we'll hear from you sometime next year after election and everything is settled down. So Absolutely. Thank you so much, Senator.
Have a wonderful service, a wonderful day. Please be safe to everyone. Please take care of yourself and be safe. And let's get to a better place. Let's move forward, and with God's grace, find ourselves in a safer, more peaceful place.
Absolutely. Just for the record, my wife and I, we voted a couple weeks ago, so we're good. Okay. But what we're doing now is encouraging and pushing everybody else. Take your souls to the vote. Yes. Yes. So thank you again so very much.
Thank you.
You also have a wonderful day. And also the Mrs. Campbell.
Yes, Terry. Yes.
Here she is. Thank you, Senator Terry. I'd like to have your number if you don't mind.
Yes, we'll follow up. Terry, please follow up.
Pastor, I'll reach out to you tomorrow if it's okay, and I'll make sure you have my email and my phone number.
You have my number, do you?
I believe, could I write it down real quick?
Sure. It's a 313-806-1610.
Perfect, got it now.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bishop.
All right, have a great Lord's Day. Great day today. Bye-bye.